Good day and welcome to this latest episode of If Walls Could Talk. I'm John Wyatt, editor of Walls and Ceilings, and joining me today is Allison Palmer, director of association management and attorney for Management Guidance LLP. I believe they're based out of, is it Minneapolis?
St. Paul. Offices are in St. Paul.
In St. Paul. Very good. And Allie's also the association manager of SWACCA, a National Alliance of Signatory Wall and Ceiling Contractors. Great day to you, Allison, or excuse me, Allie. Thanks for joining us.
Happy to do it.
Excellent. So what are the short and long-term goals of SWACCA?
Well, SWACCA was formed essentially to protect and to increase the market share for union contractors in the wall and ceiling industry. So we're talking about carpenters, painters, tapers, drywall finishers, laborers. Those are the groups that, those are our members. Those are our contractors whose boots are on the ground. That's the type of work that they do. And what's unique about SWACCA is they're all union contractors. They're all signatories to one of those collective bargaining agreements. So really the goal is to further their interests as union contractors, both in terms of government relations. We have a public policy team that helps out with that. Labor relations, our general counsel does quite a bit of work, collective bargaining, training, negotiations, that type of thing. And really just promote the industry as a whole.
And you just began with them as association manager recently. Is that correct?
Well, everybody's sense of time is a little warped. I started with SWACCA in February of 2020. So right before COVID hit, a couple weeks before I started, and then everything went virtual for a while. So I think for my first year and a half, 2 years, we did everything via Zoom. I didn't even get to meet, the directors, committee members, in person, I believe, until the spring 2022 AWCI meeting in Dallas. So it was a little bit of an interesting start, to say the least. But everybody did what they had to do at the time, and we made it work. And we're now very happy to be done with that and back to a point where we can attend meetings in person and get out and meet people.
I remember that, and I believe you and I may have met. I believe it's the Gaylord Resort, which is
I think we did.
So
Yeah.
yeah. So are you guys a regional, national, state by state alliance? Outline that for us.
Yeah, so we're a national organization. So we've got two types of members. We have our regional affiliates, and then we have our contractor members. The regional affiliates are local associations in place. And actually there are a couple of those associations that are heavily involved with the NWCB conference that we'll be talking about in a few minutes here. So they are kind of the, you've got at the top, you've got SWACCA, then we've got our regional affiliates, and we have 13 of those across the country. And then we have roughly 400 contractor members. And those are the folks who do the work, boots on the ground.
So for the upcoming Build 24 show in Orlando, I assume that's when basically, that's the greater opportunity to meet with most members that you have.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is. So we do both the spring convention and then the fall industry leaders conference for AWCI. We hold membership meetings at both of those events, and it's a great opportunity to meet with people who, they've gotten emails from us, they get our newsletter, they get all these electronic communications, but yeah, it's nice to be in that room with them and be able to talk to them either one-on-one or talk to them as a group and let them ask questions and kind of have a free-flowing, more organic discussion than you can sometimes have. Zoom, it kind of works, but not always. And
I
it's
agree.
different.
I think the whole world zoomed out.
Yeah, for sure. For sure it is.
So it is nice to see people face to face and have that interaction. So is this alliance for contractors only?
It is. Union contractors in particular. So you have to be a signatory to a collective bargaining agreement. But it's contractors who as I mentioned, they're the carpenters, they're the painters, the tapers, drywall finishers, laborers, all from kind of top to bottom, the folks who do, you know, wall and ceiling work, both interior and exterior.
Sure, sure. So how does one go about meeting a union contractor, become a member?
Well, the easiest way is actually to be a member of your local association. So take, for example, in Southern California, you have the WWCCA. If you are a member of the WWCCA, you are a member of SWACCA, because WWCCA is one of our regional affiliates. One of the other ways you can join SWACCA, the primary model is we have a local association in place. We have them, we talk with them. They decide that SWACCA is for them, and they become a member, and then by extension, so do all of their contractor members. But we have had members, and we have members actually where there isn't a local association in place, but they still want to reap the benefits of membership. And so we have what's called a supporting member. And the idea is they join SWACCA ultimately with the goal of forming a local association in their geographic area. And that's one of the things we actually offer, John, is that, if there isn't an association in place already, or say there's an association that's just been dormant for many, many years, we're willing to step in and either help resurrect that old association or get a new association started. So ultimately that supporting member can become a regional affiliate, and then their contractors are also members.
So as I understand, you'll be involved to some capacity at next year's Northwest Wall and Ceiling Bureau's annual Wall and Ceiling Show that's going to be held in, I think it's Indian Wells, California. So
Yep, that's right.
Okay. What do you plan to share with its members at that show?
Well, one of the things we do with that show, we've done it for the past 2 years, and we're looking forward to doing it again this year, is we do a technology summit. So SWACCA has an innovation and technology committee, and this is kind of their prime event, and it's a really great opportunity. So we get wall and ceiling contractors, technology companies, and representatives from labor in a room, and we talk about technology in the industry. I used to say it's coming, whether you're ready or not, but it's here. Construction technology is here. There's a lot of it. And so the goal of the committee is to try to kind of fight through that noise and tell our members what they really should be looking at, what they should be interested in. It's also becoming an issue in collective bargaining with the unions. So this technology summit is a wonderful opportunity for contractors to talk with both technology companies and, more importantly, labor, outside the context of bargaining, which can sometimes be pretty contentious, not always, but sometimes, to talk about what they're seeing, what works, what doesn't work. So we've run that event for the past 2 years. It's gone very well. We're planning to do it again this spring. The other thing we do at the Wall and Ceiling Conference is there's a contractors caucus as part of the conference schedule. And for the past 2 years, SWACCA General Counsel John Nessie and our public policy team lead in Washington, D.C., that's Andrew Siff of Longbow Public Policy Group, they present at this contractors caucus, and it goes well. So those are the two things that I can think of off the top of my head that we're planning right now.
So in the context of technology, are we talking AI, automation, software, all the above?
All of the above.
Okay.
All of the above. AI is becoming a thing. Robotics, building information modeling, where you put VR goggles on and you can kind of plan out a room in 3D. Data collection and management. That's a big topic with many of our members. Tracking, for example, it was something that kind of came up in the context of COVID, when they were trying to track everybody for the in case they'd been exposed. But it turns out you can potentially track employees and monitor their productivity. Well, that's a touchy issue for a lot of people. So but those are the types of things that we talk about, both in the technology summit and then within the context of that committee as well.
It's incredible how much technology's evolved pre-COVID too. So just the last few years, I'm sure there's going to be a lot to discuss. I hope it's a great turnout for you. In the
Appreciate that.
meantime, yeah, I'm sure it will be. If what I saw in the Gaylord Resort was any indication of just the information exchanged. So, Allie, I want to thank you for your time. Can you just let us know how any members can get in touch with you?
Yeah, so you can reach me via email. My email is apalmer@mguidance.com. Or honestly, they can reach me on my cell phone. It's 763-516-4032.
And the website?
Oh, www.swacca.org.
So that's SWACCA.
Correct.
Okay. Allie, I want to thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you, I suppose, first in Orlando and then hopefully out there in California in May when the NWCB show happens. So thanks again for your time.
Thanks, John. Appreciate your time too.